Have you ever wondered how the UK came to be what it is today? Our journey begins around 800,000 years ago. The British Isles, a landmass currently known for its bustling cities and iconic landmarks, was once a blank canvas awaiting the first strokes of human habitation. It was during this prehistoric era that the earliest humans arrived, leaving behind a legacy that would shape the course of history. Among these early settlers were the Celts, a culture known for their unique artistry and complex social structures. Their influence on the region was profound, still resonating in the various aspects of British life today. One cannot speak of prehistoric Britain without mentioning Stonehenge, a Neolithic masterpiece that stands as a testament to the architectural prowess of our ancestors. As we marvel at these ancient relics, we are transported back to a time before written history. Thus, the stage was set for the arrival of a new power, the Romans. In 43 AD, the Roman conquest of Britain began, ushering in a new era. The Romans under Emperor Claudius brought with them more than just sheer military might. They introduced an intricate system of governance, well-planned infrastructure, and a cultural milieu that would influence the region for centuries to come. Roman Britain saw the rise of magnificent cities like Londinium, now known as London, with its bridges, roads, and public baths, illustrating the grandeur of Roman architecture. The Roman rule also brought about a uniform system of law and order and an efficient administrative system. Trade flourished under the Pax Romana, the long period of relative peace and stability experienced by the Roman Empire. And let's not forget Hadrian's Wall, the monumental fortification stretching from coast to coast, built to guard the wild frontiers of the north. But as the Roman grip loosened, a new power rose, the Anglo-Saxons. With the decline of Roman rule, the stage was set for the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms and Viking invaders. The 5th century saw the emergence of 7 distinct Anglo-Saxon kingdoms, collectively known as the Heptarchy. These kingdoms, each with its own rulers and customs, dominated the landscape until the Viking invasions of the 8th century. The Vikings, hailing from the Scandinavian regions, brought with them a new culture and social structure, leaving an indelible mark on the British Isles. Their influence can still be seen today in place names, language, and more. However, it was the Battle of Hastings in 1066 that truly brought an end to this period. This pivotal battle saw the Normans, led by William the Conqueror, triumph over the Anglo-Saxon king Harold II. The Normans' victory at Hastings marked the beginning of a new era, the Middle Ages. The medieval period in England was marked by feudalism, war, and plague. From 1066, the year of the Norman conquest, England began to morph under the influence of feudalism. This system of social hierarchy had the king at the top, with various levels of nobility, knights and peasants below. In 1215, a significant event took place, the signing of the Magna Carta. This document, signed by King John, is often considered the first step towards constitutional law in England, limiting the king's power and establishing the principle that everyone, including the king, was subject to the law. The 100 Years' War was a series of conflicts between England and France from 1337 to 1453. It was a time of military evolution, with the longbow becoming a key weapon for the English. Yet, the most devastating event of the period was the Black Death, a deadly plague that wiped out about a third of England's population in the mid-14th century. This catastrophe reshaped the country's social and economic structures, leading to a decline in feudalism and a rise in wages for workers. The end of the Middle Ages brought 2 powerful dynasties to the throne, the Tudors and the Stuarts. The Tudor and Stuart eras brought religious upheaval, civil war, and the birth of the Commonwealth. The Tudor period, spanning from 1485 to 1603, was marked by the reign of the infamous Henry VIII. His break with the Catholic Church and establishment of the Church of England, known as the English Reformation, changed the religious landscape of the nation. The Elizabethan era under Queen Elizabeth I was a time of relative stability and cultural flourishing. The Stuart era, however, was fraught with conflict. From 1603 to 1714, the kingdom was embroiled in the English Civil War, a brutal conflict between the monarchy and Parliament. This period saw the execution of King Charles I, signaling the end of the monarchy and the establishment of the Commonwealth under the leadership of Oliver Cromwell. From the turmoil of the Stuart era emerged a new political order, constitutional monarchy. The Glorious Revolution of 1688 marked a turning point in the history of the UK. This pivotal event saw the overthrow of King James II, a monarch whose policies had increasingly alarmed his subjects. In his place, his daughter Mary and her husband William of Orange ascended to the throne, marking a peaceful transition of power that resonated throughout Europe. But this wasn't just a simple change of faces. It represented a seismic shift in the way the country was governed. With their ascension, William III and Mary II consented to the English Bill of Rights, a landmark document that established the supremacy of Parliament over the monarchy. This was the birth of constitutional monarchy, a form of government where the monarch's power is limited by law. It was a radical departure from absolute monarchy and set the stage for modern democracy in Britain. This political shift laid the groundwork for an era of empire building and industrialization. The 18th century was a time of expansion and transformation for the UK. The British Empire began to stretch its wings, spreading its influence across Asia, Africa, and the Americas. This period saw the establishment of numerous colonies, effectively turning Britain into a global superpower. Trade flourished, with commodities like tea, spices, and textiles flowing into the home country, enriching the empire and its citizens. Meanwhile, back on home soil, a revolution was brewing. Not one of political upheaval, but of industry. The late 18th century marked the onset of the Industrial Revolution, a period of rapid industrialization that forever changed the face of Britain. Mechanization brought about a shift from agricultural to industrial economies, with factories and urban centers becoming the new hubs of activity. The landscape of the country was transformed, society was reshaped, and Britain emerged as an industrial powerhouse. As the 19th century dawned, the UK was poised for a period of unprecedented growth and change. The Victorian era was a time of social reform, technological advancement, and imperial expansion. At the heart of this period was Queen Victoria, whose reign from 1837 to 1901 remains the second longest in British history. Her reign was characterized by significant changes in British society, including the passage of numerous social reform laws aimed at improving the lives of the working class. This was also a time of remarkable technological innovation, with the invention of the telegraph, the expansion of the railway system, and the rise of industrial factories. But perhaps the most defining feature of this era was the height of the British Empire. It was during this time that Britain's colonial holdings expanded dramatically, reaching its zenith and earning the epithet, the empire on which the sun never sets. But the dawn of the 20th century brought global conflict and the end of empire. The 20th century was marked by war, the decline of empire, and the birth of the welfare state. The United Kingdom found itself at the epicenter of two global conflicts, World War I and World War II, playing a pivotal role in shaping the outcome of these cataclysmic events. The aftermath of the Second World War saw the gradual dissolution of the British Empire, once the largest empire in history, as countries began to seek independence. This post-war period was not just about loss, however, it was also a time of rebirth and reconstruction. The UK undertook the monumental task of rebuilding its shattered cities and infrastructure while also creating the welfare state, a comprehensive system designed to provide health, education, and social security to all. The introduction of these social reforms marked a significant shift in British society, offering a safety net to its citizens. The latter half of the 20th century brought social and cultural changes and new challenges for the UK. From the swinging 60s to Brexit, the UK has continued to evolve. The late 20th century brought a wave of social and cultural changes. The swinging 60s was a time of youth-oriented culture and modernity. The Thatcher era, named after Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, marked a period of economic liberalism and deregulation. The end of the 20th century and the dawn of the 21st saw a significant constitutional change with the devolution of powers to Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. The UK's political landscape was reshaped as these nations were granted the ability to govern themselves in certain areas. In the 21st century, the UK faced one of its most significant challenges yet: Brexit. The decision to leave the European Union has undoubtedly shaped the nation's relationship with Europe and the world, and its effects continue to unfold. This brief journey through time has only scratched the surface of the UK's rich and complex history. The UK continues to shape and be shaped by the currents of history.